Welcome back. Chapter number 2, part 1, planning your dance film, location and music. Number 1, location. If you're used to creating work for stage, this is absolutely something that I want you to think about from the get-go. It's definitely something that I've thought about after the fact and always got really frustrated with, because in some circumstances, it meant that the piece and the location just did not go together as well as I thought they could, or there were elements in the space that I just didn't take advantage of because it was just a background. It wasn't meant to be a part of the piece. And so that's why we want to think about it right off the bat. If you're used to creating immersive work, then you know that feeling and that sensation of really incorporating yourself in with the architecture around you. All that to say, let's break down what I think about when I'm choosing a location for my dance films. 1, is it beautiful? 2, does it fit the theme of the larger thing that I'm trying to do? Does the whole space, not just one wall or one little section, but does the whole space fit the mood and the theme of what I'm trying to portray? Because you are going to see it. Remember that long shot, remember that establishing shot, remember that we are vertical creatures in a horizontal world. You are going to see that full space. So you want to make sure that it is something that isn't just there as a default, but helps elevate what you're trying to say in your dance film. Other things that I'm thinking about when I'm looking at a space. How big is the space? How far back can my camera be? How much space do I actually have to dance? Is it a tight little hallway? Is it a big open space? Can I dance full out? Or will I need to make sure that I'm pretty tight? Maybe the camera's pretty tight. Maybe the camera won't be able to see my full body. So maybe this is just an upper body shot or a lower body shot because of the constraints of that space. What is the floor like? Do I need shoes for it? Can I do it barefoot? Can I do it in anything that I want? Will I need knee pads if I'm getting on the ground? Can I get on the ground at all? Or is that a safety hazard? Is this outside? Is this a public area? Is this a private area? How many people have access to this area? Will I need to avoid people when I'm filming and figure that out? Or is it a private space and I don't need to worry about that at all? What kinds of architectural features do I have in this space? If, again, you're used to immersive or site-specific work, you're used to working with actual physical features, and by that I mean couches, the ground, the ceiling, the walls, what can I actually dance with in this space? And then the other side of kind of playing with architectural features is what is in the composition. So again, looking back at that Batsheva framing, what are those different pockets? What kind of framing do I have within my frame? What kind of windows do I have? What kind of one-point perspective do I have? Is this really flat? Is there a lot of depth here? How can I play with that? And then the last thing to look at is light. Pretty much all of the examples that you have seen are all using natural light. They might use a slightly modified version of the natural light, but they're using natural light, and that is because it is much easier to film if you don't have any restraints on where you can film, that you can actually free flow around this space. In classic filmmaking, you're setting up all of these lights, but you're setting them up to just film in this corner, and then you have to set everything up again. And in dance film, we want to be able to move around. We want to be able to work kind of quickly so that we can keep the momentum of the dance going. And so it is so much more satisfying if you can have a lot of long takes than many, many, many short takes. And in order to do that, you need to work with the space as is. You need to have as few outside lights as possible. You need to figure out what is the light in your space and what time of day should you shoot to get that beautiful, beautiful natural light that you're looking for. All right, music. Again, this is something that I did not think about until I didn't do it, and it sucked. One of the dance films I created during the pandemic was inspired by and about the Todrick Hall song, Ordinary Day. Choreographed specifically to the words, only to remember kind of after the fact that that is a highly copyrighted song. And so I literally can't do anything with this film that I made. I can't post it anywhere. I cannot put it into any festivals. I can't show it anywhere. I do not have the rights to this music. And coming from the world of nonprofit arts, if you're a large-scale performer, you've probably purchased kind of limited ability to use that music in this live performance context. And as much as it's a hassle, it's not too bad. But for most of us, we don't have to worry about copyright music at all. We're maybe performing it once at a small scale and nobody really cares. But when it comes to films, you need permission to use that music in perpetuity. And that gets extremely difficult. So there are basically 3 things that you can do in order to get music for your dance films. Number 1, you can collaborate directly with a music artist and pay them to create original scores for you that you can then decide between each other what kind of rights you have as far as showcasing that music. I've also, because I am small and the things that I'm doing are pretty small, I have reached out to more commercial artists and just asked them, hey, can I have permission to use your music? Here are the ways that I'm using it. And I'm pretty surprised at how many are okay with that. And I don't want to advocate, taking advantage of other artists, but if you are an artist that doesn't really have any money or any means, other artists will recognize that and be okay. I think it's just a matter of, as soon as you do have the means and the funds to pay people for their art, do it, right? It's the right thing to do. But if you don't have the means, then absolutely go ahead. Straight up just ask artists. If you do have the means, you can also reach out to companies and ask to pay for the rights. Just know that it's going to be really expensive. And then the last thing that you can do is you can go to royalty-free sites and purchase music. So these are sites where there's a bunch of different artists that upload their music to the sites with the understanding that everybody who downloads it has the right to use that music in perpetuity. My favorite for this is Artlist, and this is not me advocating or plugging them, but they're my go-to royalty-free music source because I find it has the best music that I can dance to. That said, there's no search engine for finding music for contemporary dance, so it's gonna be really difficult. You're gonna have to spend a lot of time combing through a lot of things. The keywords that I have found, or the genres that I found work best for me finding music that actually works for dance, is cinematic, classical, and world. But if you find other things that work well for you, please let me know, comment below. The other thing that I've found that I do on these sites a lot is find specific artists that I really like, or specific songs that I really like, and then just find more music like that and create a database for myself. So, that's a lot, I know, but these are the 2 things that will really set you up to be able to choreograph the way that you want to, and with success. Figure out what your location is, if you can. Do a site visit, if you can. Rehearse there. Get as familiar as you can with what that space has to offer and when you should film there. And then 2, finding music for yourself through one of these sites or directly from the artist. Yeah, so with all that said, go forth, begin choreographing. When we come back for part 2 of chapter 2, planning our dance film, we're gonna get into some storyboarding.